Well, the men's 4x400 metre relay finalists waited patiently until the 7 metre distance came upon the board for our long jump champion. But here's your start list for the penultimate event on the track. In lane number 9, Zambia, the third fastest in qualifying. They have Samu Konga, the 400 metre champion, on the last leg for them. Nyambe will get them underway on leg 1. In lane number 8, Trinidad and Tobago, and they're brought in Jareem Richards, the 200 metre champion, will go on the last leg. Lane number 7 will be India. Mohammed Anas Yahya, he'll kick us off, and Jacob will be on the last leg for them. Lane number 6 will be Jamaica. They hold the game's record, the second fastest team in qualifying. Lane number 5, Kenya. Moesa, the 400 metre fourth placer, on the last leg for them. Botswana will start in lane number 4. They've qualified fastest for this final. Nigeria will go in lane number 3. Looking cool and calm. Johnson Namani is their first leg runner, and Barbados will start in lane number 2. Jonathan Jones on the second leg, the bronze medalist over the 400 metres, will run the second leg for them. Barbados start in 2. So there he is, Muzala Samu Konga. He woke up this morning not a Commonwealth champion. He'll go to bed with at least 1 Commonwealth gold medal. Can he have a storming last leg like he did in qualifying and bring Zambia home a medal here? The final male track event of Birmingham 2022 here in the Athletic Stadium is ready to go. The men's 4x400 metre final: Barbados, Nigeria, Botswana, Kenya, Jamaica, India, Trinidad and Tobago.
There are a few moments in athletics more exciting than the final lap of the 4x400 metre relay. 4 athletes, 1 baton, and an entire team depending on every single step. So one mistake can change everything, while one incredible final leg can turn an ordinary race into a moment that fans remember for years. So that is the 4x400 metre relay that happened. So today we are looking at 2 dramatic 4x400 metre relay final that showed exactly why relay races is more unpredictable. Stay with me, watch till the end, drop a comment below, let me know what you think, and I'll be coming back with more insights. Subscribe, like, and share this video. All credit goes to the original broadcaster of this video.
Tobago and Zambia. Silence falls across Alexander Stadium. And now it erupts to a roar as we get underway on the first leg. Running lanes, of course. Trinidad and Tobago going well. St Helier on the first leg for them. Jamaica moving nicely with Bartley down the back straight. Botswana as well in lane number 4. Remember, the fastest qualifiers for this final. Leongo Scotch on the first leg for them. So a full way round in lanes. We've got 4 pairs at the moment, haven't we, in terms of formation for this men's 4x4 final. Kenya moving nicely. Makobi, who was 4th in the 400 metre hurdles, on the first leg for them. And here comes the first changeover, Tim. Let's see who's in the lead in this final.
Always hard to judge, Kath, but a brilliant leg from Dwight St Hilaire there of Trinidad and Tobago on the opening leg. Tell you what, Botswana are going well too in the blue in lane 4, aren't they? But it is Trinidad and Tobago. Asa Guevara on this second leg for them. Breaks from lanes. He has a couple of metres on about 4 teams. There's still a pack hunting him down. He's got to run smart this second half of this one, Kath.
He has indeed, but this is good for Trinidad and Tobago. A 4 metre lead over Jamaica. Nathan Allen on their second leg for them. Botswana currently in 3rd. Zimbani and Godzi on the second leg for them. Here come Kenya though, strong on that second leg. And Barbados as well, closing on this second leg for the changeover.
Trinidad and Tobago take over in the lead. Jamaica 2nd, Botswana 3rd, Barbados 4th, Kenya 5th, Nigeria 6th. That's the way they go. They're all still in the hunt. The gaps are not big, over half a mile run. And Trinidad and Tobago, Kath, with Michel Cedeno on this one. Maybe relinquishing the lead, or are they? No, he's battling off the 3rd leg runner, Javon Powell, there as they go through 200.
Well, it's going to be a tasty final leg. Remember, Trinidad and Tobago have Jareem Richards, the 200-metre champion, stepping up, and he's a 44-second runner. Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, Botswana, a superb run by Anthony Pasella of Botswana. The hands are held high by the outgoing runners. Botswana now pop into the lead.
Well, that's probably the perfect position, Kath. Wouldn't you always want to be a metre or so down on the leader rather than behind him? But he's not hanging about. Jareem Richards, the 200 champion, has blasted straight past the final leg runner for Botswana by Uppo Ndori and into the lead, and he has a couple of metres with 200 to run.
Jareem Richards in the final 200 metres, looking around, he's cool, he's calm, he's got such good speed endurance, but Botswana are saying, Ndori onto his shoulder. Trinidad and Tobago, Botswana battling for the gold medal. Kenya have come into the bronze medal position, passing Jamaica, but Jareem Richards, easy as you like, 3:01.30. A brilliant run by the Trinidad and Tobago team. They were set up perfectly for Jareem Richards to dance around Alexander Stadium and pick up the gold medal for Trinidad and Tobago. Botswana pick up the silver. Wow, what a brilliant end, Tim. Our final track event for the male athletes here, and a superb run by Trinidad and Tobago.
Proof, as if it were ever needed, that the 4x4s raise the roof. The 4x1s are spectacular, but they're over in 40 seconds and less. This goes on for over 3 minutes, and the crowd can roar them on lap after lap for the mile of running. Trinidad and Tobago winning from Botswana and Kenya. What a final leg from Waresa. That was astonishing. I'm dying to see the splits.
He was flying, Tim. Moesa for Kenya. He was fourth in the individual 400 metres and just missed a medal. But that's brilliant. Absolutely superb. Botswana team, well, they did pick up the silver medal. One of their runners in a little bit of trouble there in the back of the shot. I hope he's okay. His teammates will be saying, no, good job. 3:01.85. We've got the silver.
Yeah, the Zambians are national record back in 6th place. You don't see too many much more competitive than that, do you? The leading pair having a real ding-dong. 3rd and 4th, a fabulous punch up down the home straight. What a run from Kenya's Waresa to close down on Cox of Jamaica to the left.
And Anthony Cox was 6th in that 400 metres. And he was passed with ease, wasn't he, by Moesa, who was 2 places ahead of him in the individual event. But Jareem Richards then, Tim, he wasn't even out of 3rd or 4th gear on that 400-metre leg there. As easy as you like, looking at the screens.
I thought he'd misjudged it. I thought with about 140 to go, the Botswana guy, Ndori, might go past him because he looked brilliant. But Jareem Richards let him put up alongside and then changed gear and went away. And look how calm and cool and collected and victorious he is.
Well, indoors, he's superb over the 400 metres. Outdoors, as I mentioned, he's a 44-second runner. Such a talent. He gave it a go, didn't he? Uppo Ndori, the Botswanan, got onto the shoulder of the Trinidad and Tobago athlete. But he put his foot down. The battle behind, now look at that, between Kenya and Jamaica. A battle that Kenya won, arms stretched out wide. Super stuff. St Helier, Guevara, Sardinia.
But it's the 400-metre champion, Laik Pillay, Marley Vildra. Hungary have got the same quartet as in the heat earlier today. Steigerwald, Valeki, Joshki and Simon personnel, but they do change the order. Jaisalan still on the first. Zala comes from the anchor to the second leg. Then it's to Thena Rasu, and Rupal has gone to the anchor. The Australians are still the same with Reynolds, Guthrie, Thorne. Lane 2 is Belgium. One change for them. Abdul Wahab comes in on the third leg to back up Pinjan, Dur and Lombert. Shoshoka, Batsiani, Tijeri and Ditalu. The same quartet that qualified from the morning heats. Off we go then. 4 laps of the track, the first lap and a half in lanes. Herring out at the start is Xavier Donaldson, who was the lead leg for the USA this morning. Hurtling after him is the South African lead man from the morning heats as well, Mti Umtakulu. So Vernon van Rensburg is the man who's made way for the champion, Leid Pile. And the South Africans looking pretty well placed, even taking into account the stagger. Who will be first to hand over is the South Africans, just ahead of the Australians on the inside. So South Africa with Malepo, Precious Malepo now with the baton in hand. Also on the second leg this morning. Reached the semi-finals of the individual event in the women. Poland, though, now way out in front. This is where you expect the Poles to be. Daniel Soltysiak has handed on to Weronika Bartnoska. The Americans being overtaken by the Australians. That's Isabella Guthrie, who took it from Thomas Reynolds. As they come over, Poland have the lead. Karolowski takes it. It was a bit of a nightmare there for the South Africans. They obviously rate their gold medalist because he's now got an awful lot of work to do. Pule in 5th place, now going into 3rd and now looking for 2nd. Let's hope the enthusiasm of the relay hasn't got the better of him. He wouldn't be the first to go racing off down the back straight, only to suffer coming back down the final straight. But if any man can do it, it's the silky South African. That's Botswana, Muji Tejeri. But he's being overtaken at the back. This is a brilliant race. Brilliant run by the individual champion, and he's given South Africa a chance, not just of a medal, but perhaps the gold. Alexander Formella, though, has the baton for the Poles. Marley Viljoen, the outgoing 400-metre champion, has the baton for the South Africans. Viljoen couldn't get past the semi-finals individually. Will she be able to get in touch with the Polish leader, who is Alexander Formella? Formella 4th in the 400 metres flat, behind Barbara Malikova of the Czech Republic. The race is on, but Viljoen is not going to be able to catch the Polish Formella, who's going to bring Poland home to take the gold. South Africa the silver, and the United States of America beating India to the bronze. A new event on the calendar, but it's a familiar relay force that has taken the title. Poland so often get it right when it comes to 4x400 metre relays, whether it's men or women's, and now they've combined to great effect. 3:15.58 the winning time. South Africa 3:16.42. The United States another second and a half behind them. India missing out on the bronze medal by about half a second. Australia 5th, Hungary in 6th, and Belgium in 7th. Botswana, who were trying to move back up the rankings, in the end came home in 8th. Well, how different might it be if South Africa had got that?
Thank you so much for watching till this point. Actually, after watching these 4x400 meter races, those amazing, dramatic, and enjoyable, incredible, actually, our young boys and girls are showing their talent, are also showing us how incredible they are when it comes to speed. Comparing the two relays, we can all agree with me that you cannot agree with me that until the baton is crossed the finish line, no one determines how the race is gonna end, because it's very, very unpredictable when it comes to relays. Relays are never same like the races 100 meters, 200 meters, or the 400 meters. Relays are so interesting and at the same time very, very unpredictable. Something might just go wrong when it comes to baton exchanges if they're not done well, and just anything can happen, and always athletes have to be ready for whatever that is going to happen. So that is really amazing on the 4x400 meter relay that we just watched, on the mixed one, and also on the men 4x400 meter relay. I hope and pray that you loved watching it, because it was so exciting, so magical, and at the same time so interesting to watch. So the men 4x400 meter relay final brought something very strong to the nations, including Trinidad, Tobago, Botswana, Kenya, and Jamaica were on the track. So from the opening leg, the intensity was so obvious, because every nation actually picked those who are very best when it comes to speed, who are very good when it comes to 100 meters, 200 meters, to join in the relays. So we had great sprinters, great track and field athletes who are very good when it comes to speed, from Trinidad, from Kenya, and also from Jamaica. So that was really amazing, because they picked the best. So every athlete knew that there was no room for a major mistake in the 4x400 meter relay. So you are not only racing against the athlete around you, you are also racing against the clock. The pressure and the responsibility of carrying your team and hopes depends on each one of them. So the first leg was fast and competitive. The team stayed relatively close, which meant the race was wide open. Botswana quickly showed that they were seriously contenders. Kenya also remained in the fight, while Trinidad and Tobago positioned themselves very carefully, because this is no joke. It's not gonna be easy. Everyone has to be ready for this one. And also, I know how scared people are for Team Kenya, because they are really, really amazing when it comes to relays, and also Team Jamaica. So, and this is one of the interesting things about the 4x400 meter relay, because you do not necessarily have to lead at the beginning. Sometimes the smartest strategy is to stay close and wait for your opportunity to execute the plan, and also to execute the speed. So as the race moved through the second, the third, the pressure continued to increase and to build. So Botswana looked particularly dangerous. Their runners were holding their positions and keeping the team in strong position, heading to the final exchange. Trinidad Tobago, however, refused to disappear. The baton eventually reached the final runners. The final runners on the anchor leg, that is the one that is so interesting and so magical whenever it comes to the 4x400 meter relays. Not only 4x400, but all the relays. The anchor leg is always very, very interesting. So the baton, when it reached on the anchor leg, this was where the race became absolutely spectacular, because Botswana appeared to have the advantage. Trinidad Tobago had Jereme Richardson, who is known to have the speed. Richardson understood that the race was not about where he was at the beginning of the final lap. It was about where he could be when the finish line arrived. Then he started closing it even faster. With around 200 meters remaining, Richards produced the decisive moment. So Trinidad Tobago runner suddenly looked like completely different athlete. His stride opened up, his speed increased, and Botswana advantage began disappearing. So this was not simply a victory based on speed, it was also about timing. Richards waited for the right moment. He did not panic when Botswana was ahead. He stayed within striking distance and then attacked when it mattered most. that is a lesson that we all have to pick. And if there is any athlete watching this right now, please, I hope you know what this means. So at the final meters approached, Trinidad Tobago moved into the lead. Trinidad Tobago finished and got gold at 3 minutes 0.01.29 seconds, and Botswana finished seconds at 3 minutes 01.85 seconds, where Kenya took bronze at the third place on 3 minutes 02.41 seconds. So that was a very amazing. They did their best and they actually managed to get those positions. So congratulations to everyone who was on that stage. That was actually a race to be remembered because it was very exciting, dramatic, mostly at the end. It was really, really amazing watching them watching them explode at the last minute was so amazing. Now let's move to the next 4x400 meter relay, where we saw something magical there, and we saw the mixed boys and girls actually doing better. Whenever they're mixed together, I think something special always happens. So this time you're looking at the mixed 4x400 meter relay, an event that brings another layer of unpredictable, because both men and women compete on the same team. So the United States entered the race with plenty of expectation. South Africa also had a strong team, while Poland showed the strength, the early stages, that they were ready to fight for the gold. So the opening exchanges were extremely competitive. The United States and South Africa established themselves near the front, while Poland remained within striking distance. But then came into the biggest turning points of the race. South Africa suffered a serious problem during a baton exchange. In a relay, the baton is very, very important. It's everything, because one wrong move and everything is gone. Months of training, the time, everything just goes away. So you can run an excellent leg, but if the exchanges go wrong, all the hard work can just disappear in seconds. So South Africa suddenly found themselves having to recover from a major setback. For many years, for many teams, a mistake like that could be enough to end their medal hopes. But South Africa did not give up. Instead, they began fighting their way back into the race. And this is what made the relay even more exciting. South Africa team had already lost valuable ground, but their runners continued pushing till the end. The race became a demonstration of determination, a true definition of determination by the South African team. So meanwhile, Poland was taking advantage of the situation. Poland remained composed and continued executing their race. They didn't need to panic because they got it all. They simply had to maintain their position and bring the baton safely home. Then came to the South Africa anchor leg, whereby Marley produced a powerful final effort. He had looked almost impossible to overcome was suddenly becoming smaller. Every meter mattered and every stride mattered, and the South African team kept fighting until the very end. However, Poland had done enough. They crossed the finish line and took the gold at 3 minutes 15.58 seconds. South Africa finished second at 3 minutes 16.42 seconds, while United States took bronze at the third place on 3 minutes 0.17.91 seconds. And that was really amazing. And once again, we saw why relay races are so unpredictable. Imagine South Africa had some issues where they were starting the race, but they managed to take the second place. So that is really, really amazing, because their determination has shown that the relays are very, very unpredictable. So one moment you can create a disaster, but at the next moment you can create a comeback. So the two races compared together, there is one major similarity, and that one major similarity is that baton exchanges, they are recovered strong enough to finish the race, and also races can never be decided when they are just about to start. Relays are very, very difficult to decide because you never know who is going to win that race. And the 4x400 meter relays are so special. It is not just about who is the fastest, it's about teamwork, trust, timing, courage, and the ability to stay focused when everything goes wrong. So one baton exchange can change the race, one final straight can change the results, and one athlete can create a moment that fans will always remember. So Trinidad Tobago gave us a dramatic comeback. South Africa gave us incredible recovery. Poland showed the importance of staying composed. Thank you so much for watching till this point. I hope you loved and enjoyed watching it. And drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about these two relays, the 4x400 meter relay. Don't forget to hit that notification button to be notified whenever I post new videos. So guys, till the next one, bye.